Dente, and I welcome you to a special edition of Cultural Caravan. On this edition, we're on location in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, as we celebrate the National Black Theater Festival, a biennial celebration of African American theater and arts. It was founded in 1989 by a visionary who is known as Larry Leon Hamlin, with the understanding that arts organizations, groups, artists from all over the country and internationally can come together to celebrate the best in black theater, film, music, literature, and culture. Well, are you ready to go with us? I am. Let's go. Hi, I'm now joined by Obba Babatunde. Has an extended distinguished career, and it's great to meet you. Please tell us the importance of why you're here in support of this program.
The reason I'm here, and the reason this is so important, is because it gives us an opportunity. When I say us, I mean the community at large, to be able to identify with the names and faces of those who are standard bearers in this career of entertainment, and the importance of the images that we set forth, because the images that we project, firstly, they tell our stories in the work that we do. It then becomes a chronicle of who we are. You see, theater is a very important thing. Theater is interpersonal. It actually connects with those people who see it, and it lives in the minds and hearts of those who have seen it. And then it becomes tradition, because then they pass that on firsthand to those that follow them. It also is something that lives on forever. So here we are at the National Black Theater Festival, and we get an opportunity to see great work, to see the legendary figures who have been the standard bearers and forerunners of the great work of the past, who inspire those who are coming in the future.
We're here now joined by Malcolm Jamal Warner. Malcolm, we're very impressed. I've come to the theater over many years, and the fact that you, as an artist, have really decided to focus on promoting the spoken word tradition. Please tell us what inspired you to start this process here.
Well, I'm a poet. I've been a poet. I was a big part of the resurgence of the underground spoken word movement in LA, dating back to about 92, 93. So poetry is what I do. In 2001, when UC Baraka and Larry Leon decided they were going to have the poetry faction of the festival, I thought it was, it was definitely on time and extremely important. So just as theater is a part of what I do in my career, so is spoken word. So I get to come here to the National Black Theater Festival and really be able to support both the theater and the spoken word.
Wonderful. One of the things, we know you basically and on the Cosby Show, and you have evolved as an actor and artist, and you brought some tremendous plays down to this festival. What do you feel we can do to promote and perpetuate black theater beyond the theater, taking the spirit of the theater festival and promoting it throughout the country?
Well, I think we have to support black theater in general, not just every 2 years in Winston-Salem, but in our own hometowns. We need to support black theater. We need to support good black theater.
Exactly.
I think that's really the crucial thing. There's a certain level of quality that we have to continue to strive for, and those are the things that we need to continue to support.
I was reading a book called His Excellency George Washington. I was reading it as a little, actors are in a sense anthropologists, because they have to research and go into the past to find characters. And so I always like to read historical things, and I was reading this book, and in this book there was a character named Billy Lee who was George Washington's slave. An anecdote popped up in this book. So I continued reading, got through another 100 pages, and this character popped up again, Billy Lee. Now, I never heard of this guy, Billy Lee, who was George Washington's favorite slave. And there's about 3 or 4 more other anecdotes about this guy. So I decided to do some research and find out who this guy was. And in the process, I realized that our history is hidden from us. We do not realize what our contribution to the American Revolution. Everybody talks about the Civil War. We don't realize what our contribution to the American Revolution was. When George Washington crossed the Delaware, he crossed with a group of sailors from Massachusetts called John Glover's Marblehead Mariners. 40% of those sailors were black. I ain't seen that in no pictures, no portraits. You know what I'm saying? Well, when they had to evacuate out of Brooklyn, they had to use John Glover's Marblehead Mariners. That means they evacuated 9,000 men out of Brooklyn, and it was black sailors that were doing it. That's our history. I didn't know that. That ain't on the History Channel. I got angry. And one of the best things in the world is to write when you're angry. It is. It's one of the best things to do is to write when you're angry and you got a reason. Now, my only problem is in the middle of the anger, I see a joke.
Now joined by Takia, Crystal, Kuma, and we are from formerly known, and I hope I have that correctly. We know you from Living Color, and I know that we're just honored to have a chance to talk to you about your work. Tell us about the importance of this institution known as the Black Theater Festival.
Okay, I was invited to come. I was actually honored in 1999. Larry Leon Hamlin, our beloved founder, sent me a letter offering to honor me at the festival. I had never heard of the festival. I don't know how that's possible, but I'd never heard of the festival. I called him and said, I'm honored that you want to honor me, and can I perform there? And he said, oh, well, come on down. I fell in love with him. I fell in love with the festival. I fell in love with Winston-Salem, and I said, I'm going to come back every year, and I have. And I remember that first year just being overwhelmed with the sense that one day someone would speak about a man, a black man, who had a vision to honor black performers in a way that had never happened before.
Tell us about what you see in terms of blacks in the arts as it relates to opportunities in theater as well as film.
Well, you know, yeah, I have a lot of television fans in Living Color, Cosby, That's a Raven, On Our Own, blah, blah, blah. But I began, like most of the people here, in theater. That's where I learned to act, etc., write, direct, produce in theater. And I started producing theater when I was little. I started writing my own shows in the 4th grade and producing them in school. And I'd graduated to public theaters by high school. And I didn't know about agents and managers and white people getting you jobs. And so I think that in terms of our destiny as black performers, writers, producers, directors, we must go back to that place where we create our own work. And then it doesn't matter if we're the flavor of the month or not, if we're in fashion or not, because, you know, it comes and goes, you know, and we should be oblivious to that. We should be resistant to that. We should commune like we're communing here at the National Black Theater Festival, network with each other, create projects for ourselves, and then support them. When you see black people on a television show, you have to write ABC right away and say, we love us some Isaiah Washington. So they'll think twice before they cut him.
Exactly.
We have to go the first weekend. The first, not, did you see it? No, I'm waiting for them to sell it on the street. Don't do that. We have to go the first weekend and see Talk to Me. It's on us. It doesn't matter what they do, because we still make up 50% of the film revenue in this country. 50%. That's a lot of money. If we were using that money to not buy things illegally on the street, but to see black films first weekend, the canvas would change.